What's the deal, YouTube? It's your girl, Miss Honey. Welcome back to the channel. Welcome back. It is your girl, Miss Honey, here with a quick power review. I am so sorry, you guys, that I am late on power. Of course, you guys know that I traveled all day Sunday back home to Atlanta, so I didn't have time to do power. I apologize that power is late, but it is here. And listen, it was actually a pretty good episode. The speed and the pace of things is kind of really growing on me with power. I don't know if it's just because I'm so hungry and thirsty for like some type of dramatic, cinema or television or whatever, I don't know. But I liked it. So maybe I'm becoming one of their faithful fans. So let's get into this episode. I kind of set it up a little bit differently. I was hoping that it would help me, get through the review a little bit quicker, to shave a little time off of my reviews a little bit, but still give you guys a concise rundown as to what actually happened. Without getting caught up in the weeds, the minutia, if you will, of the situation. This is Power Book 2, Ghost, Season 1, Episode 8, long title. And this episode is entitled Family First. Now, let me just say this. I have gotten a lot of new subscribers since, of course, I started posting more and you guys have come over from other people kind of shouting me out. I want to say welcome to everyone. Thank you guys so much for being here. I hope you really enjoy yourself. One of the things I bring to the table is a more detailed review, a little wit, a little humor, thinking outside the box, a little, God, G-O-D, if you will. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to the Father. Hopefully you guys are enjoying yourselves. Welcome once again. And you guys don't forget to hit me up down in the comments because we love to go through everything in the comments. All right. So let's talk about this episode. This episode really is about a lot of choosing. Choosing one person over another person, choosing one lifestyle over another lifestyle, choosing one, train of thought over another train of thought, choosing who you can trust, and maybe trading out some of your old faithful for some new friends, and discovering who the real foes are out here. So, let's get into it. Let's first talk about the professors. So it's homecoming week and all of the parents are in town for homecoming week, and all of the kids who are at odds with their family or, don't really like to be around their family, they're looking for drugs. On top of the regular students who are studying and didn't have their parents come through. They're plowing through, like the econ students and the med students and all of that. They drugs too. So course correct is bumping, but all course correct sells is pills and marijuana, right? But like I said, the campus is bumping. Lauren's parents are there. Bruschetta's mom is there. She's just like Bruschetta, abrasive, verbally abrasive. Doesn't trust anybody. Everybody is suspect. Everybody can get it. Everybody can get a cuss out. That's Bruschetta's mama. And Lauren's parents, we have already met them. They're uppity. Really, Lauren's mom needs to be shook hard. Now, I ain't gonna say she need to slap across the face. That don't seem right, but she do definitely need to be shook hard. And it's just, she got a real nasty way about her. So we are Tariq is loading up his course correct packets, and Braden wants to um just for he makes it seem like just for homecoming, maybe sell a little coke. And Tariq was like, nah, we don't do coke, we do weed and we do pills. Tariq leaves there and goes to class, and while in class they are discussing I forget what they were discussing in class, but it's more of that trust. People lie. You can't trust people. You got to know who to trust type thing. Power dynamics, that type of situation. It's more of this conversation that they always have in class, where we get this opportunity to learn just a little bit more about Tariq. And we see where Jabari is torn between his jealousy and the need to control Milgram and completing his book. He talks with Tariq after class, and Tariq's got the extra credit assignment that he gave to Tariq to write, this really, really long paper, which is essentially the next chapter or a few chapters in Jabari's book, because Jabari can't write for whatever reason. Whatever he's been writing, they don't accept it. And he found, when he turned Tariq's first paper in to the publisher, that they loved it. And he feels like, I'm gonna have to get rid of this. I just need to put less on. Anyway, he found that they really liked Tariq's writing. And so this extra credit, I don't even know if he's going to give Tariq extra credit. I don't even know if he has the power to give Tariq the extra credit. But he's using his weight as a professor to get Tariq to do essentially write his book for him. Tariq's got the papers. He really thinks this is going towards his schoolwork and him graduating early and staying in the course and all of that. While it was in the class, we got to hear a lot of banter. Like I said, there was this conversation from Tariq where, he was expressing how you really can't trust anyone. Like, you can only trust people as far as you can throw them, so to speak. So I'm not really sure why he's not a little bit more suspicious of Jabari, but also we get to see Milgram. Now Milgram is really, really losing control over Zeke. Like, Zeke is in his feelings for real about Milgram. He's showing up at her office. He's calling her by her first name. And basically, he's feeling really edgy about the upcoming game. I think this is his first game back since he had been benched. Tariq is doing all of his schoolwork to keep him on the team. And he's nervous because there's going to be some big scouts there. And, she just kind of advises him. I mean, she is his advisor. And she kind of advises him, just play it like another game, just calm down. And he's like, cool, I'm gonna be good, but I gotta see you later. And she was like, oh, let me call you, because she really trying to pump his brakes a little bit because she see he wide open. Later on, after she abruptly meets Monet before the game, and Monet is giving her cold shoulder, like, can I help you? You, excuse me? And it's a moment where she kind of has to excuse herself, because Monet is like, you need something? Yeah, beat it. Beat it, bird. And then later on, after this major incident, Zeke shows back up at Milgram's door, and she's telling him, you can't just keep coming over here. But she sees he's in tears. I mean, he's so goofy, you guys. Also, anyway, and she takes him in. Okay, at the same time that we see, Jabari in both instances, his book and in terms of Milgram. Y'all know Jabari thinks that Milgram is messing around with Tariq. And so he's got writer's block, and he's losing control over Milgram, and he feels like Tariq is responsible for both of those things. And we're going to see where Jabari really, really crosses the line as far as Tariq is concerned, and learns some information about Tariq that I don't know, is probably going to end up getting him killed, but we're going to talk about it. Okay, so let's talk about Drew and Kane. Drew just wants to be with his man, y'all. He just wants to be, a gay man in love with another gay man. I think he wants to be an artist. I think he wants to be in the arts. And he's in love. I don't know if he's in love. It's so weird. It's so weird because it's really a short span of time, you guys. And in order for us to buy these storylines, we have to forget about time. Like, although Drew's been sleeping with this dude, what's the dude's name? Travis Everett. He's been sleeping with Everett. He don't really know Everett, but he's all in for Everett. And y'all know, I almost, when I first watched this episode, felt like I stood corrected, because I felt like Drew ultimately is the weakest link in this family. Like, he's really the one they need to worry about more than Kane. And although Drew really stepped up, and we're going to talk about that in this episode, I don't know that I'm still convinced, because like I said, he's in a really weird place. Again, family first is the name of the title. So that family first means that whatever Drew wants for his life, love-wise or career-wise, his family comes before all of that. And Monet just continues to remind him of this. And she's really got all of her children kind of on a roller coaster ride in terms of their emotions and forcing them to choose, forcing them to do, keeping them under her thumb, ruling over them, with a stern hand, that type of thing. Monet goes from bashing him to big upping him. It's an emotional roller coaster. Like I said, he's being thrown into a whole life that he really, 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 although he can step up to it, he don't want to, you guys. Kane has gone off the reservation, you guys. And because he does go off the reservation, he kind of pays with his safety net. His family is his safety net. Like, one of the main reasons why people are so afraid of Kane is because he is kind of ruthless in terms of when he gets into it with you. He, he bites your, rips your jugular out with his teeth and rips your head off and spits in your skull. Like, he's like Tommy in that way. Once he gets mad, he is, he's boom boom pow. Like, he's Katie Kaboom, right? Tick tick boom. And but the family is his safety net. Like, in order for other gangs and stuff not to come against him, they kind of have to go through his family first, like, because his family carries some weight. Well, because of how he moves in this episode, he kind of loses that safety net. And so Kane is basically gonna be out there without his family's protection. Not really, because Monet is still watching over him, but I feel like she's trying to teach him a lesson. Basically, Kane makes a move on Tariq without his family's knowledge. And he sets up the GTG gang to smoke Tariq. But we're going to talk about exactly how it all went down. But that's basically what went down. And because of this, Kane ends up getting cast out of the family. And cast out of the family home, cast out from underneath Monet's wing. And he is on his own. He had already been kind of making some real crazy moves, robbing the church, and now sending the GTG gang to kill Tariq. Making all of these moves, he continues on with it. And we're going to talk about the finale of that later on. So let's talk about Tariq. Now, this is our last character. Everybody else is going to kind of fold into Tariq. These are our main characters. The professors and how they're moving. Drew and Kane and how they're moving. And then Tariq. Everyone else we talk about kind of folds into this whole Tariq thing. Tariq is... Man, he is 90 miles and running. He has got so many irons in the fire. There are so many ways that Tariq can get screwed, you guys. And I'm talking about screwed bad. With his life, with his business, with school, all of that, right? But let's talk about it. So like I said, homecoming week. And Tariq is basically filling all of his orders up. He's got orders back to back to back. We talked about that. But he's working with half the load that he had. Remember, Monet ran short last week. So she's kind of spread thin. And she gave him less than half. Of course, Braden notices this less than half. And once again, he wants Tariq to let's do coke. It's homecoming week. It's tons of people that want coke. We can make way more money if we do coke. Well, first of all, we barely got pills. How we gonna get coke, Braden? But Tariq tells him, no. This is what we do. This is what we do. I'm not selling no coke. So it's a weird dynamic. Like Braden is. He doesn't really know anything. Like, he doesn't really know anything, but he knows addiction. He knows addiction. He knows the things that people are addicted to, but he don't really know the drug game. He certainly don't know it better than Tariq, and Tariq barely know. You know what I'm saying? Them couple of weeks he spent with Kane, you know what I'm saying? His daddy didn't teach him nothing. They really blind leading the blind, right? But Tariq has some base knowledge. No, Braden does not. We see where Lauren comes to his room because after class, she invites Tariq, even though she's supposed to be pissed with him, and her parents don't want him there, and her mama is being ugly towards Tariq regarding his mama being in jail. I don't know why she don't stop her mama from talking to him like that. Like, that's so disrespectful. Who does that? What adult does that? You know what I'm saying? Like, it's so low class, but as high class as they consider themselves, Lauren's family. So she invited him to dinner. He was like, oh yeah, cool. Let me just, I'll catch up with y'all. Like, you know what I'm saying? Let me go back to my room. I'll catch up with y'all. Well, when he goes to his room, Lauren comes up to his room and they kind of discuss why he went off. And he, you know, gave her some song and dance, but we know why he went off. He went off because he had blood on his shirt and she wanted to have sex, and he knew he couldn't take his clothes off in front of her without having to explain that giant blood stain on his shirt. But he makes up something. At the same time, there's a knock on the door. I don't know why people knocking, because apparently you just come in people's room while they doing drugs, while they having sex, while they packing their drugs. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's crazy. You would think if anybody had a lock on their door, it would be the drug dealers, right? Like, yeah, right? Am I wrong? Do drug dealers just have open doors? Like, I don't know. What do I know? It's Effie. Because homecoming game is between Tariq's school, Stanfield, and Effie's school, which I can't remember what that school is. And yeah, she's up there to sell drugs because she's still a drug dealer. But she's also there to see Tariq because, you know, she stole from Tariq and Tariq ended up stealing back from her. And they have this, you know, this dynamic where, you know, they do each other wrong. Meanwhile, Effie comes to the door and Tariq gives her fever from the gate. Like, he's not feeling her because she stole from him and she snitched on him, right? And Lauren just broadly assumes when Effie comes in that Effie's the reason why that Tariq didn't want to sleep with her. This must be the real reason why. And I was just like, no, dudes will sleep with 12 girls in one day. Like, that don't matter. Like, anyway, she shades Effie, and Effie shades her back, and then she storms out. I guess Tariq is not allowed to go to dinner now with them, right? And unbeknownst to Tariq, 2-Bit is looking for him. He's on campus looking for him. And he does end up finding him thanks to Lauren. He tells Lauren that he is Tariq's cousin, and he's there to surprise him. And Lauren all in Tariq's business. You look kind of young. Why are you looking for Tariq? You know, and all. I was like, are you the student advisor, Lauren? I mean, you be questioning people company. Anyway, so, but Tariq doesn't know this. So when Effie tells him she's there to sell a little coke, make a little money, and support the team, Tariq is like, nah, I don't sell drugs. You know what I'm saying? He don't trust her. So he don't want to tell her what he got going on. He really don't want no dealings with her. And he kind of ushers her on out the room. Well, 2-Bit shows up, of course, and y'all know how he is. After he went to see Spanky's mama and gave her a little bread and ran the foo-la-la on to her, ran the game to her. Now he up here with Tariq's daddy's Rolex on, strong arming Tariq, got a gun to his head. And basically he's telling him that Ghost said he would take care of him forever. And that means that debt that Ghost died with is now Tariq's. And he wants $24,000 or he gonna be back with his gun to take care of Tariq. I was like, what? You strong arming a student? Like, really? This your hustle? This your hustle is making Tariq your you know what I'm saying? You pimping Tariq out for money? Like, that's your hustle? That's your hustle? Really? 2-Bit? It's such a small time thinking, but that's fine. He wants $24,000. Okay. And we see where after Tariq goes to see the lawyer and tries to get the money, the lawyer really snubbed him hard. And it was like, if you haven't graduated yet, you get nothing. Tariq was like, maybe I can get an advance. The lawyer was like, listen, this is not Kmart. We don't do layaway. We don't do advances. We don't do pay me next. Oh, give me a burger now. We'll gladly pay you next Tuesday. Like, And so he calls his mom, calls Tasha on the burner and just asks her, are there any more lock boxes around the city? Is there any more money? She was like, you think if there was money around the city, I wouldn't have told you by now? And, you know, Tasha's giving us the scared eyes. Tariq, what's going on? What's wrong? What is happening? Mama, don't worry about it. I'll figure it out. Thank you very much. He gets on off the phone with her, right? Well, he makes up in his mind that he got to go back to Effie now. Because Effie, he wants to get in on it. Because Effie offered him earlier for them sell what she got and split the profits. Now, the reason why she want to do this is because Tariq know the lay of the land. Yeah, so sorry about the cough drop, you guys, but you know I came back from Florida with the head cold, so So yeah, Effie wants to give him 50% of her profits just to show her the lay of the land. Like, that doesn't even make any sense. He's not even out there selling. Effie's doing all the selling. He's just telling her who to sell to. I mean, you would think a drug like coke sells itself, but fine. So, so he strikes back up with Effie. This is what we're going to do. 50-50 profits. And she goes out and she sells these drugs, and, you know, it's a real turn on to her that he kind of knows the lay of the land. And even though he says he doesn't sell drugs anymore, he's clearly up on the drug game there at Stansfield. And she finds it a turn on. After selling all of these drugs, basically she's made 50 grand and like that, right? Okay, it is homecoming. So when she goes back, obviously she's got the 25 for him. And by the way, when they made the deal, basically what happened was he called Tasha, and Tasha told him that, he was like, I need help. Can you tell me how to trust somebody that betrayed your trust before? How do you trust them again? She know all about this because of being with James. And she tells him what you got to do is get them to trust you. Right? And so that's what he does. He goes in, because he needs this money, but at the same time, he wants to be kind of standoffish with her. But just like a woman who got to get a man to trust them, and sometimes will use their body, Tariq ends up using his body. Because Effie buys in lock, stock, and barrel. But she wants to be with Tariq. You know what I'm saying? And she wants to do this 50-50 thing, but also she wants him to know, oh, you can trust me. And I'm going to show you how much you can trust me. And they get to kissing, and she discovers his gun. She lets him know that she also has one, but he's safe. He doesn't have to worry about his gun or using his gun or needing his gun. She is letting him know she's a ride or die. But Tariq got to do this. Whether he want to be with Diana or whether he want to be with Lauren, he still got to sleep with her. Now, he might not consider it a chore. He might not consider it this transactional situation, but that's really what it is. If you essentially don't want to be with Effie, I just don't think he knows right now that Effie is probably of all of the ladies the best for him, because Diana ain't gonna never get out from under Monet's thumb. Lauren come from a real uppity background, and really Effie knows him a little bit better than everybody, because than all three of the ladies, because Effie knew him when he was in high school and he was doing his teen angst thing and selling drugs. She's a little drug dealer. She packing, he packing. Let me see what else. They both seem like they got family issues, if I remember correctly, from her being on the Power season. She's got some family issues too. So Effie really is kind of the better fit for him. But like I said, she goes and she sells the drug and she comes back. But he has got to go and meet with 2Bit to get 2Bit this money. And so it's this situation where 2Bit gave him a day. He wanted a week and 2Bit gave him a day. So this is obviously the next day. After he makes his $25K and gets booty and also Effie's heart, we see where secrets, that's what it is. Effie and Tariq have have secrets together as well. So after Effie leaves, he tells her he's got to go pay the lawyer. Effie leaves, and Tariq goes to see Drew to get his re-up for his marijuana and his pills, and to drop his money off to Drew. And Drew is staying like at a hotel in town, right? And so on his way there, Tariq doesn't even notice that Jabari is tailing him. He gets to the door of the hotel, and they do the transaction in the door of the hotel. Like, why would you do that? Like, it's stupid. But we're not going to pick at these scabs this season. So Jabari can hear it all. He hears Drew talk about, the money, mention course correct, and hears Tariq confirm that that's how he's making his money. Sees the exchange of, getting the backpack of drugs from Drew and giving Drew the backpack of money, and gets all of this. And Jabari goes ahead and he texts Milgram and says, about Tariq, I think you should. At the same time, he's getting an incoming text from his publisher. Okay, now the publisher already met Jabari at the coffee shop and told him he loved the paper that Tariq wrote. He loved them chapters. Now, he don't know Tariq wrote it, but he loved them chapters. What's the ending? And so now he's texting Jabari while Jabari is texting a warning text, sending a warning text to Milgram about Tariq because he thinks she is sleeping with Tariq. You got the ending of that book yet? And he realizes he can't muck this up with Tariq. Like, he can't blow up his spot with Tariq until Tariq finished writing his book for him unbeknownst, right? So Tariq don't notice any of this. So now Jabari has the buzzword course correct. Like, all of a sudden everybody knows about this course correct situation. I was like, we don't lock our doors, we don't protect our secrets, we don't talk in code. Like, what is we doing, right? It's fun. So we see where Jabari then goes and does like a little research on Tariq's family. I was like, y'all know the situation. Y'all know Tariq mama in jail. Ain't nobody thought to look that up. Ain't nobody thought, like, his dad was running for governor, a lieutenant. Okay. Anyway, now they looking up Tariq's. Now Jabari's looking up Tariq's business. We also see at the same time where Braden is at dinner with his family and he learns that Trace is high on coke. Trace's nose is bleeding. Already? You've been doing coke for a while if your nose is bleeding. If you don't want the lining of your nose out, right? Like, I thought that's how it worked. The sister high too, but her nose ain't bleeding. And she tells Braden she got drugs, cocaine, and they got high together. And where did you get cocaine on campus? And she won't tell him because she feel like that's her connect. I was like, you're only there for the weekend, sis. Anyway, so of course, Braden takes it right back to Tariq. And he wants to confront Tariq and tell Tariq there's some other guys on our territory. They're taking our money. And Tariq is like, calm down, dude. This is what we sell pills and we sell weed and that's it. Do you even know how to cut a brick of cocaine? You don't know nothing about the cocaine game. And we ain't got no cocaine here. Now, it's a lie because Effie got cocaine. He was like, well, maybe Effie's here. You think Effie's here? We are playing her school. And Tariq is like, I don't know. If she was here, she would have hit us up. You know what I'm saying? He trying to get Braden to take it down a notch because Braden is a weak link. Okay, he's a white boy. He's a rich white boy. He really don't have nothing to lose. Nothing to lose at all. Despite what Tariq think, Braden don't have jack to lose. Tariq got it all to lose, right? I said, do not get in bed with Braden and these drugs. Y'all remember I said that, but that's fine. That's fine. That's fine. Looks like I might be wrong about Drew. Maybe I'm wrong about Braden. I don't know. Anyway, so it turns out that Braden is going to find out from Effie after Tariq stands her up. And we're going to talk about that too, that it is Effie. And Effie's been working with Tariq to sell these drugs. And he feels so betrayed. And if, you know, that's what to me makes Braden seem like he is the narc. Because he's always trying to convince Tariq to tell him everything because he can be trusted. That's something a narc does. A narc tries to shame you into telling them everything. Like, I'm your bro, I'm your friend. And you know, we're bros. Like, we're bros, bro. Like, bro, right? All of this here, Braden cannot be trusted. Well, he is pissed with Tariq, and he tells Tariq he is not selling with him no more. He not dealing with him no more. I'm going to tell you what he going to do. I already know what he going to do. He's going to try to branch out on his own and do his own thing and become Tariq's competition. Tariq, it's not going to be long before you end up having to kill somebody. Now, I don't know how you've avoided it this long, but especially in this book 1, book 2, I'm not sure how you haven't ended up killing someone yet, but it looks like it's coming. Okay, so, like I said, we get to the game, and Tariq has put Effie on ice. And he goes to meet 2-Bit for the drop. At the same time, he sees the dude come in, and their colors are blue and white. And so the dude's got his one side of his face painted white and one side of his face painted blue. Now, this is the dude that is a part of GTG. And also, Kane has talked this GTG into hitting Tariq, saying Tariq is the reason why Monet is not letting them sell anymore and they can't get that money. If they get rid of Tariq, then it's going to bring money, put money in their pockets. Like, this dude is the one that is keeping y'all from eating. So this dude is from GTG, and he is sent there at the behest of Kane. Now, Kane not doing himself because he knows that if Monet finds out that he was behind all this, it's going to be hell to pay. He know that because his daddy put boots to his face just for knocking Monet on the ground. So he knows what he going to do to him if he stopped that Tariq money, that Stansfield money from coming in. So he's setting GTG up, basically. Well, Tariq is standing there waiting on 2-Bit to come in through the gates, and the dude comes through the gates and he sees the guy looking at him, and the guy looks away abruptly when Tariq looks at him, and Tariq automatically looks down at his shoes, and he got on danger colors, neon yellow tennis shoes, danger colors, right? And, nothing says pay attention to me like neon yellow shoes, right? And so Tariq was like, that's weird. Why would you wear neon yellow shoes? And this is a blue and white game. Like, it was odd. He just makes a note of it, right? Well, he goes on inside and he sits with Monet and Diana on the same road. Diana on the other side of Monet, and behind him is Drew, and directly behind Monet is Kane. And Kane is eyeballing him and feeling a type of way because immediately when he sits down, him and Monet start talking about re-upping, and I don't have it. As soon as I have it, when I get it, I'll give you a call and I re-up you, and I got you, I'm gonna keep you straight. Well, Kane is looking at all this and he feels like, why are you letting this dude in? Like, why are you letting this dude become a part of this thing? I was just like, ain't the goal to get money? Why you got a hard on for Tariq? Like, okay, so well, he gets a page from 2-Bit. 2-Bit is here. He tells him he's going to the concession stand. Diana wants a water, and Kane want everything they have. Bring me a popcorn, a bag of Skittles, some gummy bears, a salted pretzel. I also have a hot dog, a large ice cold beer. Like, and Tariq is like, yeah, right, I'm gonna do all of that. Goes out. And he's walking to meet, and he notices that the blue and white face dude is following him. And it gets to this fevered pitch where Tariq is walking faster and the guy, blue and white, is walking faster. And Tariq starts to run and blue and white starts to run. And he texts 2-Bit and says, meet me in the pool. Like, 2-Bit knows his way around. Like, whatever. Okay, how did 2-Bit get in there with the gun? How he can't bring the gun? Anyway, so Tariq runs into the pool, and the guy's right behind him, and the guy's got a shank. He's got a plastic shank because he can't go into the arena with a metal. This for taking food out of my family, out of the GTG family, Ninja, and I'm gonna kill you, Ninja. And Tariq is like, whoa, dude, and he, the dude's coming after him. He tries to shake him, and Tariq tries to avoid it. And then he pulls up a pole that's around the pool. He pulls up a pole, and he goes to mollywop the guy, right? And the guy tackles him. It's a whole little wrestler thing, and Tariq is about to get it when 2-Bit comes into the pool area and picks up the pipe and whops the guy. Wallop, right? And the guy's like rolling, and then Tariq is like, let's get out of here, and Two-Bit is like, nah, this ain't done. We finna finish this. Like, who the heck is trying to kill you, Tariq? And he puts the guy in the water, and like with one hand, he drowns the guy. And Tariq's got the guy's phone. He's like, they're texting him and wanting to know if I'm dead. And Two-Bit takes the phone and takes a picture of the dead body and sends it back to whoever was texting. And tells Tariq. Tariq gives him the money, was like, I'm out. Like, gives him the money, and he tells Tariq it's not enough money. This ain't enough money. Like, for everything I done went through, I just killed a dude for you. Like, I think a few more bands. Whatever bands mean, I'm not really sure, but that's $25K. I think he wants like another 25 or 225s. I think that's what it is, right? And Tariq is like, I gave you your money. He was like, nah, you gotta keep giving me money. Like, you gotta keep making money for me. When you gave him the money the first time, that set the precedence, Tariq. You gonna have to kill this ninja. Like, this the game. You gonna have to kill him, or he's gonna bleed you dry. He's gonna be a leech on your balls for the rest of your life. Like, this is what it is. Well, Tariq is gonna run out and leave out, and he tells Tariq to wipe the pipe down. And so, Tariq is nickel slick, so he picks the pipe up to wipe it down, and I think he essentially wiped his prints off, or maybe he thought he wiped, I don't know, but I think the goal was to put the pipe down and act like he didn't wipe it off, and those prints, Two-Bit's prints, will be on that pipe, right? Okay. I think that's why he didn't, like, wipe it down. And he runs on out, right? And so, I can't remember if Two-Bit gave that phone back. No, he did. He gave the phone back to Tariq. And Tariq runs out and goes and sits back down. Now, he does bring Diana her water, but he ain't got Jack for Kane. At the same time he sits down, Kane is getting the text of this GTG guy's body. And Kane excuses himself and goes upstairs out of the arena, into the concession area, and calls the number back, basically. Or he calls the number, I don't know. Anyway, he calls the number after he gets the body, and I thought Tariq picked up. I think Tariq picked up, and he tells Tariq, whoever the heck this is, he's gonna kill him. When he finds out who they are, he's gonna kill him, right? Tariq didn't say anything. He just hung that phone up, and Kane goes back and sits down. What he knows is Kane's voice, and now he's looking at Monet crazy because he feels like he knows it. Tariq knows that they all move as a family, and so for Kane to do this, it must be because Monet has put Kane up to it. It's a whole mess. It is a whole mess, and honestly, it was kind of set up good. It was fast, but it was kind of set up good. We see where, like I said, he thinks the whole Tejada family is involved. He calls Tasha, and he kind of tries to downplay it, and Tasha was like, no. After he tells her that somebody tried to kill her, and she was like, tell me what's going on. He was like, Ma, I don't want you to worry about it. She was like, it's too late for all that. You got to tell me what's going on. And so he tells her, I guess what was happening, basically the gist of it. And Tasha calls Renzo, and Renzo makes it clear that she should not be calling him, and she shouldn't be talking out of school to him, and she needs to show him respect. She was like, I thought you was the leader of this family. He was like, what the heck are you talking about? It's like, yeah, your family put a hit out on my son. And he was like, what? I don't understand what you're talking about. Somebody tried to kill Tariq today. And he was like, what? And she was like, yeah. And I'm telling you now, if something happened to my family behind what you're doing, something's going to happen to your family, right? Like, y'all all eating off Tariq. Tariq is making killer money up there. And don't think I don't know that that's kind of bankroll, and that's the majority of your bankroll, right? Which is weird, right? Y'all supposed to be drug kingpin, and it's this college kid is where y'all make? Okay. All right. So he calls Monet and gives Monet the scoop on what Tasha has told him. And between Tasha and Monet, between Monet and Lorenzo's conversation, between the two of them, they figure out kind of sort of what must be going on. but it's all thanks to Drew. But we're gonna talk about that. So, meanwhile, the game is over. Okay, and Zeke and his boys, including Travis Everett, go to this club, and they hanging out, and you know, Everett is being his most straight. He is giving us straight trade, you know, where he can, you know, as much as he can. He's giving us heterosexual male. He has to do it, even though he wants to be anywhere but here in a club full of girls gyrating all over him. Like, he is not interested in vagina. And so Drew is steady calling him, but he don't pick up. He roll it over. Like, who calls somebody in a club, right? Like, you know, you can't hear in the club, right? And so instead of Drew just letting it go, he calls Zeke. And Zeke tells him that they all are down at the club. Why don't you come down? And so while Everett is dancing with a girl trying to look like he's remotely interested in, walks Drew. And Drew gives him the side eye, and it's the cold look. You know, that cold look mean meet me in the back for whatever, right? In this case, it's conversation. So they get to the back, and it's this heated, passionate, emotional conversation about Drew after having been with Everett now twice, maybe 3 times, if you count more than once in a day. He wants him to come out and be honest with himself. And you know, even though Drew's not being honest with himself, like, how you gonna hold Everett feet to the fire? And Everett is telling him, dude, I'm trying to get to the NBA. I'm trying to, you know what I'm saying, do this thing. Like, I'm not ready, and I'm not you. And it just kind of crescendos in this way where Everett he's mad, but at the same time, he kind of like Drew too. And so he ends up hugging Drew to kind of appease him. They leave the club, and the heterosexuals are ripping and running and palling around and trying to get something to eat and roughhousing like straight males do. And Everett and Drew are walking along and talking family and philosophies and idealisms and all of this stuff. And they walk up on, you know, Zeke, like I said, they ran ahead. Well, the two, it all together was 3 of them. 4 of them, including Everett. 3 of them, including Zeke, ran ahead. And when they ran ahead, they going under a bridge, and they met up with the GTG gang, who's mad because their boy is dead. And what they doing is they realize that they feel like Kane set them up, and therefore the whole Tejada family set them up, and they gonna take it out on Zeke. They gonna shoot Zeke in the leg. Well, Zeke's whole family is dependent upon him playing ball. No pressure, right? They want him to play ball and make it big in the NBA, and that way they can get out the drug game. Y'all must not be making much money in the drug game. Y'all must not be making much money in the drug game if everything is contingent upon this dude going to college. Like, I mean, going to the NBA. Like, who puts all their eggs in that basket? Anyway, it's this super tense moment when Everett and Drew come around the corner and they see what's going on. They are frightened. Everett is extremely frightened. I mean, he's truly a college kid, like an ordinary college kid. And he is frightened. But Drew knows what it is because Drew been a part of the family for a while. So Drew is like, whoa, everybody just calm down here. Calm down here. You don't have to do that. And the guy's like, you guys set us up, got my boy killed, and blah, 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 and yada, yada, yada. And I'm going to take it out on him. I'm going to make Monet pay. And Zeke is down on the ground. Zeke is so frightened and so afraid and so timid and so nervous, and he is of no help whatsoever. Okay? No help whatsoever. He's good with a basketball and a peen. And that is it. Drew tries to de-escalate it a little bit more, but the guy is hell bent on sending this message to the Tejada family by taking it out on Zeke. And Drew offers himself up as a sacrifice. Do it to me. Do it to me, and I'll take the brunt of it. And the guy says the most vilest thing. Here's the thing. A lot of times we think we have secrets, but people know. They just don't say anything, or they don't say anything to our face. The guy was like, nah, he's the cash cow of the family. What I want to shoot your effing, but he didn't say the F-U-C word. He was saying the F-A-G-G, maggot, but with an F, right? Y'all know we don't talk like that over here. And so instead of an old maggot like you. And something just came over Drew. He knew that he was going to pull that trigger. He ran and knocked the guy down. The guy did shoot, but he shot just outside of Zeke's knee. And he started pounding the guy and pounding the guy and pounding the guy. He's knocking the guy's grill loose, basically. He's got a mouthful of gold teeth. And he's just pounding the guy. And he takes the gun. Now Everett is standing there like... and he's going to shoot this guy right in his face while he's straddling him. The blood spray is going to be all over you, Drew. Don't do this. That's what I'm thinking. But Zeke is like, Drew! And Everett is like, wah! He runs off. The other guys, they see their buddy get beat down. They let the other two ball players go. They run off. Zeke runs off. And Drew is there with this gun. And finally he lets this guy go, and this guy runs off. Next time we see Drew is at home, and he's getting cussed all the way out by Monet. She feels like it's your responsibility to take care of Zeke. Zeke is our only hope of getting out of this drug game. And I didn't send you down there to let him get hurt, and you're responsible, and you did this. And he was like, no, Ma, I didn't. And he was just all sheepish, I didn't, Ma. And she was like, this is all your fault. Get out of my face. Well, he goes down immediately to find Kane. Okay, immediately. Same house that Diana went to last week to find Kane. And although the girlfriend protested, when he let the girlfriend know that the GTG gang is looking for Kane, she was like, oh no, you got to get out of my house. And so him and Kane standing outside the girl's house, they discuss what's going on. Kane is upset. He feels like if Monet knows, they're going to kill me. They already jumped me outside the jailhouse. And Drew was like, I didn't know that. And he was like, yeah. And it's just a lot going on. They trust in this Sadiddy dude, meaning Tariq, with the drug game. They jump me, and if she finds out about this, it's going to be, kaput for me, right? Like, I'm in trouble. And so Drew was like, I didn't tell him, but what we got to do is we got to body these GTG guys. And Kane was like, say less, I was going to do that anyway. So they split up. Drew go on back to the house. Kane goes down to take care of the business, right? Now, when Drew gets there, this is right after Monet has gotten off the phone with Renzo, and they've discussed it and they've kind of worked it out. So she's kind of confirming with Drew what went on. And now she's a little bit softer. She was like, they kind of talk it through together that the GTG gang blames them because one of their members got killed. They're kind of, bouncing and kind of figuring it all out. And it comes out that the only person that they would have done that for would have been Kane. To go after Tariq, and Tariq ended up killing that person. And now the GTG gang is after them for it. The only person that would kind of be after Tariq like that would be Kane. So he didn't really squeal on Kane. Or snitch on Kane. He wasn't finna take that bullet for Kane. He kind of tried to in the beginning, but once he realized that Monet and Rizzo had figured it out, He just let the chips fall where they may. And so, meanwhile, Kane back at the warehouse where the GTG gang is. So, Kane is down at the warehouse where the GTG gang is. He's turned the lights off, gets them to separate. He kills the two, the extras. And the main guy who had the gun, who I guess is supposed to be their leader, he mollywops him, beats him up, threatens to shoot and kill him. The guy pleads for his life. And basically, Kane makes a deal with this dude that going forward, everything that he sells, he has to give Kane 50% of it. And if he doesn't, Kane's gonna kill him. And the guy's like, half? Kane cocks the gun, cha-cha-cha-cha, And the guy's like, okay, no problem having. He was like, I don't care where you sell it at. I don't care where you sell it at, but I best to get half. I thought he kind of was telling the dude to get out of town. Like, I'm not sure. You tell somebody to get out of town, they got to give you half. Like, that didn't make sense. I didn't understand. But anyway, basically, he don't kill the dude. So, Monet learns from Drew that it was Kane. Well, they deduced it. And he tells her that it's okay that Kane did that because Kane was on his way to kill the GTGs. And Monet said, you made that call? And he says, yes, I did. Now, he thinks she gonna go off about it, but she was like, nah, you really are proving yourself. That's fine. That's the last thing Kane is going to ever do for this family. Going forward now, Drew is supposed to be in charge. I was like, Lord. Now, listen, I said I felt like Drew was the weakest link. Not because I thought he was physically weak. Not because I thought he couldn't physically do the job. I said Drew was weak because his heart not in the game, 1. And 2, he sprung over this dude. Like, if you sprung over this dude already, and you got years in the drug game with your family, like, you a liability, and that's just what it is. Now, he's happy that he's been put in charge, but how are you going to balance all this out with the Everetts of the world? Wanting to be with a person and be in love with a person and share your life with a person, but this one thing you can't really share. You're going to have to find another thug out there that know the game, that also is in the lifestyle. That's how else is that going to work? It's just, elementary, right? Like, it's a whole house of cards, right? You taking over for Kane, that means you're going to be the muscle now? How does that work and you're an artist? Like, what are you going to be? Muscle by day and artist by night? Like, and gay by night and muscle by day? Like, Drew seems happy that he's in Monet's good graces again. I just don't think he's thought this all the way through. Plus, he still got to deal with the fact that Everett saw a side of him that clearly frightened him, right? It was a weird moment, but it was a good scene. Okay, so let's go back to now when Zeke left from almost getting his knee shot open, he ran and went back to Milgram's house, and he at the door, and she opens the door, and she is like, you cannot just come over to my place. And she realizes he is standing there like a little boy. Oh no, what happened? Come in. Are you okay? I was like, sure. He ain't gonna, this seemed like a temporary thing, boo. It seemed like a temporary thing. So, like I said, Drew steps up and saves Zeke. We see where Drew sees red. He chews out by Monet. So, like I said, Kane is basically out of the family altogether. After he sets up this deal with the one surviving GTG guy, he goes back to the house, and Diana is waiting on him at the door. And he is like, hey, what's up? Monet here? And she was like, did you hear what happened to Zeke? And he was like, man, I ain't had nothing to do with that. And she was like, but you know about it. You know about it, right? And he was like, yeah. It's like, so she gave him some money. She was like, Mom said you're not welcome here no more. And he was like, are you kidding me? She was like, what you did, you shouldn't have done. And it's nothing I can do to help you. I'm going to give you this little bit of change to help you on your way. But I can't do nothing for you, bro. I can't do nothing for you. And so he walks back down the steps. And he stepped down the foot of the steps. He looks up at the house. And she's standing in the window looking down at him. And closes the curtains in his face. And he's moderately devastated. Moderately. I mean, it's this really telling moment. Like, how is this going to work? What's so weird is that you guys are supposed to be like this huge drug family. Like, your husband is supposed to be like he's more than a premier. He's the kingpin. And your kids are your only soldiers. Your kids are your only foot soldiers. Like, I don't know. I'm not going to pick at that scale, but do y'all get what I'm saying? Like, your kids are the only people that's working the game with y'all? Who was y'all, like, did the whole crew go? Everybody went to jail with your husband? Only left the four of y'all out? I don't understand. I really don't. I don't get why she's putting all of this pressure on her children like they're the only ones that can run the family business. It's odd. We see where the next day, basically Tariq is in a public place waiting on Monet to get there. And she understands where he's coming from. She understands how he thinks that she's behind this attempt on his life. Now, he's frayed at the edges already because, basically Effie dipped on him and she blew up his spot with Braden. And he doesn't really know what the heck is going on. He got 2-Bit chomping at the bit. As a matter of fact, while he was standing there waiting on Monet, 2-Bit was like, I'm out of money. You know what I'm saying? You got to get me some more money. I was like, You getting pimped. Like, you getting squoze hard, right? And so, like I said, Monet understands. She kind of clears it up with him that, it wasn't her, it was Kane. Basically, Kane is cut off. And he's like, I don't care who did what. I'm out of the game. And she was like, that's understandable. She brings up his mom. And he was like, what about my mom? Your mom called Lorenzo. And she can never, ever, ever call Lorenzo again. She made a point of that. She can never call him again. Please let her know that. I was like, ooh. That seems like a footnote you might want to highlight there to read. And she says, and I'm going to tell you this. These are the rules. If my son, this the drug game and these are the streets. If my son come after you and try to kill you, push come to shove and you kill him, you won't have to worry about me. I understand that. She said, but if you go after him and kill him, I'll hunt you down and kill you. I was like, what kind of... First of all, you ain't hunting nobody down and killing nobody, Monet. You got your children out here in these streets doing this stuff for you. And in actuality, you kind of owe Kane. I just don't understand how you down for family, but you cut your boy off like this. I guess this is supposed to show like a little bit of softening towards Kane, but she didn't give Drew no apologies for how she came to him. She just gave him more responsibilities. Like, it's no way for this house of cards to really, really stand for long. So, That's really how the episode goes off. What did you guys think of this episode? I thought it was a pretty good episode. I just don't understand how much longer Tariq is going to be able to run this business without, really being more physical with people. I mean, he's already had tons of drugs stolen from him. As far as we know, he never saw them drugs again, and nothing ever happened to Trace for it. Braden should have had to kick his own brother's arse, basically, for stealing from him. Like, y'all, if y'all want to sell drugs, y'all got to really sell drugs. Like, people are going to take advantage. So, it's just odd to see them still moving like high school kids, even though they're moving hundreds of thousands of dollars worth of weight and money. Like, and the whole 2-Bit situation. Like, how long you think you're gonna be able to give Davis $500K and give 2-Bit $25,000 pops every time he wants it? Like, it's not really possible. At some point, it's not gonna be enough for him to be able to move the pieces around the board and get people accidentally picked up and accidentally kicked out of school. And he's not gonna be able to do that for much longer. You're gonna have to pick up a gun and use some muscle, get your hands dirty and get really bloody. And honestly, that's the thing that's gonna position you to be more like your dad than selling the drugs, is the fact that you're going to have to start taking some lives out here. And that inevitably changes everyone, right? So, yeah, that was the episode. You guys tell me what you think. Put it down below. And until next time, honeybees, mwah, 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 mwah. I'll holla.